Alright, everybody in their places. You guys ready on that?
Ready on that.
Ready in the blender?
Ready in the blender.
Tenfold. And go ahead and swap me the ass.
Let's get it framed. Hotel wake up call got me getting up.
Hi again there, Fracsim fans. Today we're going to go over the wireless functionality of the Fracsim, and we're going to be using a Windows phone to do the demonstration. So first I'm going to start by downloading the application. So just going to go to Store. Basically the Fracsim functions via any hyperterminal, like a Bluetooth terminal or any type of terminal type application that accesses the Bluetooth port. So I'm going to search, and I know the one for Windows that I use is called Bluetooth Terminal. Oops. Bluetooth Terminal. Found it there. Download it. Install. It's free. And it's just downloading now. While we're waiting for that, we can actually go to the settings and set up the Fracsim meter. Now you should only have to do this once when you first get your Fracsim meter, and it should save in there. So go to your Bluetooth settings there, and this one's actually got ours. So what I'm going to do, you should have blank. It shouldn't be receiving any Bluetooth accessories, or shouldn't be receiving the Fracsim accessory at this time, just because the Fracsim is off. So turn it on, go into your settings, turn your wireless functionality on, give it a minute. There we go. And we're going to give it a second more, and you're going to see it changes from accessory to CWS Demo 1. I'll show you on this back here. It should be the same name, depending on the firmware version of course, but it should be the same name that you see there. It should come up here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pair with it, and the password code is 1234. Done. It should say connected. Perfect. And you should only have to do that once. It should save in your phone. So now all you should have to do is access the program you just downloaded called BT Terminal, or whatever program you decide to download depending on whether you're Windows or Android. So I'm going to hit the device to connect with, which there's only in there is the CWS demo, which is this meter here, and it says connected at the bottom here. So now if I go into any function, any measure function, it'll actually send across what it's measuring. So I'm going to go measure voltage, and I happen to be just about 1 volt, and you can see the voltage is coming across here about once every second. And I can back out and then go to measure current, and once it starts displaying there, it'll show your current about once every second. It's displaying there. I found with the Bluetooth terminal app, you gotta clear the screen every once in a while, or it starts to bog down. And vice versa, you can also simulate and send commands via the wireless. So if we went to simulate current, and you see it starts at 4, but if I wanted to change that on the phone here, I would just pick a value like 12 and hit send. Oops. And you see how I sent 12, it responds by saying 12 back, and the screen goes to 12. Now if I enter a value that's too high, say 30, and I try sending that, it responds with a little warning saying, no, that's too high, we can't do that. And then if I put in one that it can do, I'll put in 6. It'll say, it replies back saying it accepted that command and going to 6. Now the range sending commands to the meter seems to be greater than from the meter sending values back to the phone. And the reason for that is I'm pretty sure the Bluetooth wireless adapter in the phone is actually like a class 3, whereas the Fracsim is a class 2, which is only rated for about 30 feet. So you find sometimes if you're going a long distance and you're trying to do the remote measure, you can't close any doors. You have to leave a window open, or make sure you're like at least as best you can line of sight to get the best chance of getting reception as you can. And that's pretty much the basic of the wireless. And then, like I said, it'll work for pretty much, we can go to simulate frequency, and we can go in here and put in 400. It'll change there. You can't change the voltage, of course. That would have to be done here, and you can't jump from function to function. But most of the time when you're going from function to function, you have to change the pinout anyways, so you'd have to be at the meter already, so there'd be no advantage to having the ability to change from screen to screen. What you'd be using the wireless for is if you wanted to test an overpressure trip, for example, and you could simulate your current at one point, go look in the cab, see if everything's working correctly, and then go past the trip point, and using the wireless functionality without having to run to the side of the unit, and then being able to see exactly what's going on at the local display without having to run back and forth, and being able to see what it's doing instantaneously as well without that delay of running back and forth. There you have it. That's pretty much the wireless functionality of the Fracsim meter.